Hi guys, this is Hiro. How's everyone doing today? Aaj bata kim cho. Aaj sab kaise ho? So today I'm going over how to actually truly think positively. Okay, we always hear this rhetoric of think positively, think good thoughts, things like that, right? Especially entering Diwali season, us Hindus or us Indians hear this a lot. Okay, especially in the West. Even entering holiday season in general, everybody worldwide could be hearing this kind of stuff, right? It's very festive season, very beginning of the year, that kind of stuff. Okay, think good thoughts, think positive thoughts. Now, how can you actually do this, right? If you were to just, it's a lot easier said than done, right? If you could just tell someone to think positive thoughts and they just do it, everyone would do it, right? But not everyone does it. So why? One of the things that you have to understand is that it is almost impossible to control the output of the mind in the short term. Let me repeat. It is almost impossible to control the output of the mind in the short term. Okay? Whatever your mind and ego throws at you, it is very, very hard to control that in the near future. Okay? Krishna says in the Gita, trying to control the mind is like trying to control the winds. Okay? He does not mean that it is impossible to act or think disciplinedly. That's not what he means. He just means that your mind is a tool. Okay? And this tool, it operates in a certain way. It spits out stuff at you for various reasons, which I'll cover some of it now, some of it later. But what it spits out at you, you can't control it, right? How many of you guys had something bad happen to you and you're thinking about that all day long and you try not to think about it, right? It's going to keep bothering you, right? How many of you guys had a heartbreak or something like that and you're thinking about this every day when you wake up, first thing, and the last thing on your mind before you go to sleep for months, okay? You cannot control that. Now, why this is happening, again, I can discuss in another video. But as far as thinking positively goes, the true meaning of thinking positively, and just one other quick thing. Yeah, you can't control in the short term, but you can control in the long term. Okay? That's kind of what I'm going to touch on in this video, but let me, it's not fully that. And let me explain. You can, like I said, you cannot control what your mind throws at you, right? It's going to throw some negative stuff at you. Actually, if you think your mind is not throwing any negative stuff at you, you're probably not as aware as you think. It probably is. You're probably thinking very dark thoughts all the time. Okay, your ego is just programmed like this. What we mean by think positively is whenever we do get these dark thoughts, okay, rooted in just very low energy things, greed, lust, ego, this kind of area, you want to just accept those thoughts without necessarily attaching to them. Okay, not identifying that, hey, I'm a bad person because I'm thinking this. Everyone has these thoughts. I don't care if they're a saint. I don't care if they're an angel. I don't care if they're, some little girls that you think can do no harm on the outside. Okay, everyone has negative thoughts. Okay, subconsciously or consciously. Now, how conscious you are, again, it depends on your awareness, but everyone has these thoughts subconsciously. Okay, so what we mean by think positively is when you have these, okay, first of all, you want to be aware of everything that goes on in your mind. Okay, that anything that is kind of bad or not positive, you want to accept it without acting on it or without identifying it with it or without attaching to it. Okay, now the stuff that is positive, well, you'll see over time that once you kind of distance yourself from the negative, we as spiritual beings, okay, once we detach from that kind of stuff, we're naturally just going to get guided to our positive consciousness energy anyways. Okay, that's just how it is. But if you watch my videos for some time, you shouldn't go on either extremes. You shouldn't try to, mess around with the bad too much, just accept it. But you also shouldn't try to mess around with the good too much. Okay? You want to be kind of grounded in the middle. A grounded does not necessarily mean super good, super on the I was going to say positive, but super on the extreme. Like, there's some cultures where, they use the terms yin and yang, right? I'm trying to get you guys to avoid the negative, but you don't want to lean too far on the positive, on the overly positive either. Okay, let me give you an example. I don't want to walk around thinking, see, if you go too much on the overly positive, you end up having like a very people pleaser mentality, right? Where you're just not balanced. Okay. So positive thinking is actually being detached from anything the mind throws at you, because your mind's going to throw a lot of tricks. Okay. Yeah. It kind of going to try to throw you with the bad, but it's also kind of going to try to throw you. It's going to throw the good at you disguised as bad. Okay. For example, people pleasing, right? Or being overly nice, things like this. It sounds great, right? Oh, I'm not doing anything wrong, whatever. But actually it is, because you're conditionally being nice, right? It's rooted from the ego. This is not actually any grounded, holistic, genuine behavior that is spiritually elevated at all. You're doing the right things for the wrong reasons, okay? So when we say how to think positively or how to act positively or things like that, you basically want to just detach from everything the ego is throwing at you and learn how to think groundedly from your actual true consciousness. Okay, and I'm gonna make another video tomorrow on this, how to be as grounded as you want in your decisions, because a lot of you guys are like, oh, how do I be grounded? All you say, oh, this ought to be grounded. I'm detaching from the mind, but now what do I do, right? It's a very good question. I'm gonna cover this soon. But so by the time you watch this, it'll probably be almost uploaded. But what you do want to start off with, how to think positively, is this little foundation setting, okay, of detaching from the negative, but also detaching from the overly positive or the overly extreme on this good side, okay, because that's not good. You want to be in the middle, but being in the middle, you can't do it out of ego. Okay, your ego is always going to have some little games. And it could even trick you. Oh, we're going down the middle, when you're not, right? You want to, like I said, detach from everything the mind throws at you. Okay, it's always going to have its own hidden agenda. The higher your awareness is, the more you'll understand this, and the more this concept, and the more you'll understand what its hidden agendas are on a day-to-day basis or on an hour-to-hour basis, right? You'll see all the little tricks and curveballs it'll throw at you, and you can see, okay? But until then, you detach, you get connected, which I said I'll explain kind of more how to do that tomorrow, and you go from there. You live your life as best as you can. Human birth is very rare, okay? Hopefully you make the most of it from a spiritual level right now, okay? So that's it for this video. Until next time, I'll talk to everyone later. Thank you all very, very much for watching, as usual.